Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a general message for my Libra collective. Any major Libra placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind, timing and energy is fluid. This reading could resonate at any point in time. This reading is timeless, so whenever you're guided to watch it, Libra, there's likely to be a message in here for you. Keep in mind, energies can be swapped around, Libra. I could be speaking directly to you, or I could be speaking directly to a cross watcher. So keep that in mind, and I do ask that you only take with you the messages that resonate. Leave behind the rest. We're going to jump in, Libra, by starting off with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck. I think get ready for some big life changes ahead. I think you're going through some big changes as part of your expansion journey, and I think you're really being asked to cut some energy cords. So what unwanted attachments are kind of lingering in your energy aura, whether these are unhealthy memories, unhealthy energies, people, places, and things, because I kind of feel Libra's going through a major releasing for a renewal, and I think any change is considered a gift as part of our evolution, as part of our expansion. So I think you're going through some big changes, Libra. You might want to be patient with yourself, but we're going to see what else needs to come through for you. Signs and synchronicities. I think you're definitely going to be put to the test coming up here. The energy is feeling very triggering for my Libra collective, especially when it comes to addressing any negative emotional patterns, behavioral patterns with yourself, with people that you're connected with. I think it's kind of time to address this negative behavior once and for all in order to kind of course correct. I think now is the time to address any triggers and to really pay attention to how your guides have been communicating with you, because I think they're sending you the signs, the syncs. They want me to mention 1111. So I think pay attention to number sequences that are coming out in doubles or triples or fours, and really pay attention, because your guides are trying to bring forward this search for this deeper meaning in your life and forgiveness. Where are you needing to liberate your heart? I think you're going through a lot of painful, triggering challenges and changes, and forgiveness is going to bring forward this energy of liberation. So I think you're coming in to some awakening energy when it comes to making decisions to better your life. I think there's been a lot of things kind of just happening unconsciously, and you are being asked to embrace this new conscious way of living by understanding that life doesn't just have to happen to us. We all have the choice to take back our power. And I do feel you've been receiving some incoming messages, some incoming downloads that are going to be important to you when it comes to the next leg of your journey. So you're really being asked to kind of quiet the mind and go within and figure out the messages and what this meaning holds for your life, because I think you're kind of going into some self-nourishment, some self-care, treating your mind, your body, and soul as sacred. And in order to do this, you kind of got to nourish your body. You got to feed yourself healthy things. So I think you're definitely at a pivot point. And whether you're dealing with somebody that's trying to put you to the test, whether it's a person or a situation, I feel this course correction. And maybe you need to ask for some guidance. Maybe I kind of feel like Spirit's coming knocking on your door, Libra. And it's kind of time to shed some light on these negative vices, because maybe you've been spiraling out of control. I feel like this analysis paralysis. I think it's time to stop with the negative self-talk, Libra. It's really time to regain control of your life. And you're going to want to pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities. Okay, maybe there's somebody wanting to come and visit you that misses you. Or maybe you've been, grieving a loss. Maybe a loved one has recently passed away. But I feel you're kind of being asked to release any attachment to an outcome. Maybe it's you that's missing somebody. But I feel, maybe you've recently been rejected. And, you know, rejection is always a form of God's protection, but I kind of feel like you're feeling like you're on the outskirts of your own life, Libra. And it's kind of time to embrace this change. Maybe you were rejected in order to embrace these big life changes. Maybe you're coming to the end of a cycle with a life partner, a marriage commitment of some sort. And I think there's happier times around the corner. But what is it that you need to change when it comes to these blessings that are trying to come in? When it comes to these negative behaviors that are kind of needing to be addressed, Libra. So I think you're coming into this deep awareness that you have an innate purpose, and maybe it's time to explore that. Okay, interesting. We got the long distance trip that come out, and what I heard was it's kind of time to get all that baggage out of the way and to take a trip on Kundalini Airlines. So I feel you're burning up some past life karma, especially when it comes to any past regrets, any past mistakes, knowing that you can't go back and erase the past, but you can sure shift your mindset in the present moment, because I do think love is what you desire. I do think love is in focus, but love has to come from the inside first and foremost. I think blessings are around the corner, and maybe this is gonna mean like an inheritance or a windfall of some sort as part of your growth and expansion, but I think it's gonna require you taking a risk. And I think things have been very muddled, things have not been very clear, Libra, and I feel likely going through a heart chakra expansion, and maybe you kind of just need to take a break from everything, disconnect from everything that's been triggering you. I think journaling will also serve you well in the energies, Libra, but let's see what else needs to come through with the Quantum Energy Oracle deck. Yeah, there's that fragmented energy that I felt. So I feel you're kind of trying to pick up the pieces after a major ending, and you've likely been going through some mind fragmentation when it comes to some memories. And look at that, one puzzle piece is right on her heart. Right on her heart. So I do feel a heart awakening of some sort, and I think there's a lot of underlying very intense emotions, emotional baggage that have been surfacing, creating all kinds of conflict in your life, challenges, conflict, arguments, and you know, I think it's kind of time to release this inner battle in order to embrace this healing energy. So maybe you've recently gone through an event where it's shaken up a foundation in order to get you to awaken to your heart, to your higher self, to put you at a crossroads energy. So I kind of feel a lot of fragmented energy, and you've kind of been activated, I feel, when it comes to your honoring path, the spiritual path. So stepping into spiritual truth, authenticity, integrity is another big message from my Libra collective. And I think, you know, you're on the precipice of calling in some new supportive, soulful connections. But you kind of got to put yourself back together. I feel recently things have just crumbled all apart, fallen apart. And this is where you kind of get to do the deep dive in when it comes to figuring out what it is that you want, what makes you happy, what brings you joy. And you kind of get to put yourself back together any way you want after a coming of this coming undone is what I'm feeling. So I think peace is around the corner, but you're really needing to take back your present power. So yeah, definitely a lot of triggering situations, a lot of conflict, and I think you've been trying to move to calmer waters, and you are about to reach some great achievement, a brand new beginning here with family, friends. I think you're very much connected to your guides. I do think you're trying to manifest a loving man in your life, or maybe you could be this loving man. But I feel coming into this deep awareness of what it is that you're seeking from a romantic partnership. What is it that you desire? Because I do feel you've set that intention for peace in your life. You're trying to leave the past behind and to take back your present power. So a couple energies of two. Twos are about needing to choose, decision, crossroads, the divine Y point. And I feel you're shifting your focus on what it is that you're looking for from a romantic partnership, because this loving man is a 5. And maybe you've had trouble manifesting love in your life, but I feel there's a lot of illumination coming forward when it comes to love, what love means to you. Maybe releasing any codependencies, coming to terms with the fact that nothing outside of you will ever complete you. And self-love is what's going to draw in this new loving connection. So I feel you're integrating a lot of lessons at this time, Libra. So we will see what else needs to come through with the wisdom of the Oracle deck. Oh my God. Chaos and conflict and triggers all around my Libra collective, but this is going to show you what it is that you need to build a firm foundation of self, building blocks. And you know, if you want that solid foundation with another person, you kind of got to get firm and grounded in a foundation of self. So what do you value? What do you want to bring into your life? Because you're closing out a major karmic cycle, a major karmic lesson, maybe dealing with some unfinished business from the past when it comes to a recent tower. But I feel a paradigm shift when it comes to your beliefs, releasing the mask. And I think all of this chaos, conflict, and triggering energy is to get you to tap into your truest potential. So there's a big change in the wind for my Libra collective coming up here. And I think you are manifesting love, but there is a need to forgive when it comes to some past heart pain. So any residual emotional baggage will keep you from manifesting that new loving connection. So where do you need to release regret? Where do you need to release shame, guilt, and where do you need to get rigorously honest with yourself about a negative repetitive cycle? Because this is what you're striving towards. This is what you're aiming towards, Libra, is this happily ever after. Happy, happy. Things are going to take a turn for the better. But it's kind of time to get rid of the mask. Who are you behind the mask? Who are you behind everybody else's expectations of you? And there's that heart awakening again. So a lot of heart energy coming through from my Libra. And with the owl, I feel very much connected with your guides. The owl kind of, I think of like the high priestess, somebody very spiritually in tune. And so I feel you're stepping into karmic freedom, 1429, rounding out the completion of something that you've been stuck in for quite some time. And I feel embracing this inner journey, going within, finding the answers from within, and opening up the gateway of the heart, which is the gateway of our psychic intuitive gifts. So that's where you've been, round and round, living your life on a hamster wheel, feeling like nothing changes day in and day out. It's Groundhog Day. So where do you need to bring into your awareness what it is that needs to change when it comes to these negative patterns? Because there's a big, big cycle closing out and happier times are around the corner. And you are working very closely with a higher power. So whatever recently has had to break down, it was to get you to understand that a foundation of self, first and foremost, is what is needed in order to embrace this positive energy that's trying to come through, Libra. So let's jump in with some tarot and see what else needs to come through for you. There's that Five of Cups. There's that regret. And I feel like a journey into your shadow self. I think maybe you've got some regret when it comes to a missed opportunity with a spiritual connection. Scorpio, Cancer, Virgo. Going within. What is it that will really bring you happiness? Two energies of swans, a divine counterpart union trying to come in, two people that are each other's equal, that will be a lifetime partnership. But, you know, where are you needing to go into healing some inner wounded masculine energy is what I'm feeling. Somebody's in the depth of the dark night of the soul. Really going within. Look at that. Going within. The Hermit holds all kinds of spiritual wisdom, but the Hermit also needs to spend some time in meaningful solitude in order to understand the lesson at hand, Virgo. Because this is what you're striving towards. Holy Grail love. But that first has to be given to yourself. Do you love yourself? Do you look in the mirror every day and say, I'm in love with my life. I'm in love with myself. I'm living my best life. Because self-love is the basis of every foundation within all of your relationships. So I think you're coming into a lot of heightened awareness about what self-love means to you. because nothing outside of you is ever going to bring you that sense of wholeness. So I feel you've been in a period of extended grieving, going into, you know, always spiraling into the negative thought process of the loss of what I don't have, instead of focusing on what it is that you do want, which is a Two of Wands union. So I think maybe it's time to get rigorously honest with yourself. I feel a lot of forward movement, but you got to get out of this energy of playing into all of this regret. Yeah, and you got to get real about where you've been keeping yourself stuck and blocked, because the heart is awakening, the heart is unblocking, but there's still this resistance to seeing something at face value. You're still looking at something with some rose-colored glasses on. So let's see what else needs to come through. I also feel awakening to some psychic insights. Perhaps you are a mystic healer of some sort. But we're going to get a 9-card spread, Libra. We're going to see what else Spirit has for you. Yeah, definitely a life force activation taking place. Without a doubt, we're going to do that. It's time to do a little bit of research. The dead central energy is the devil. So I think you're really going into understanding some toxic patterns. Where there's been a lack of commitment in your life. Maybe you've been dealing with a player. Maybe you've been dealing with a Knight of Wands where there was a lot of sexual passion between the two of you, but it never really amounted to anything, and maybe it caused you a lot of pain in order to trigger this heart chakra awakening to get you to know your worth and your value. The Empress knows her worth. The Empress knows her value, Libra. That's your energy, Taurus, Libra. The Empress knows she's capable of manifesting abundance in her life. She truly has unconditional love. And maybe you do have a lot of unconditional love to give, but it doesn't mean unconditional tolerance of shitty behavior from somebody who obviously didn't value you. This is a very immature energy coming to bring an offer to an Empress. And I kind of feel maybe this activated some Kundalini energy. Maybe this was a life force activation, and maybe it was a karmic connection to kind of activate you to find your inner flame again, because there's a past life connection here. Likely somebody you've known since you were younger, since grade school or high school or something like that, where there's a lot of memories, and maybe somebody that you've had a lot of passion for since way back when. But I feel there was some form of illusion here. I feel there was a lot of shadow aspects that the two of you needed to work through. I feel maybe you triggered each other's worst behavior to kind of come to the surface, and maybe it's time to do a little research, dig a little bit deeper. This is also my I Spy card. So somebody here has been obsessed with maybe spying on somebody, looking at what somebody else is doing. I feel it's a form of entrapment, and, you know, not really wanting to see how toxic that energy is. There's a need for balance, Libra. Your energy, I feel you're kind of in the depths of some shadow aspects. And with this devil energy, this Capricorn energy, I feel it's kind of time to break yourself out of this boxed in cage, this mental prison of your own making, because there is a brand new beginning trying to come in. Something that will bring you a lot of abundance, and maybe it's going to take a lot of hard work to grow this abundance. But I feel like you're going through this energy of rising, releasing past baggage, learning that maybe it's time to be the hero of your own life. And I think you're quickly moving towards a doorway opportunity of a beautiful Four of Wands foundation. But I also feel this is going to require you taking some action, communicating your truth, and building that solid foundation for self. Because with that building blocks, it's all about foundations, brick by brick, building something solid, building something stable. And the Empress, you know, goes through a lot of pain to get to this status. The Empress is usually an older woman, likely in her 40s, who's learned a lot of life lessons, who's had to go through many, many heartbreaks to birth this brand new energy. Maybe you've dealt with a lot of players in your life, Libra. And it's kind of time to manifest everything that you deserve. The Empress sits there and waits for what it is that she deserves. She ain't going to go spying on a man. She ain't going to go chasing a man. She ain't going to sit there with her rose-colored glasses on and live in a delusion thinking that this is her match. This is not an equal match at all. And I feel you're learning to kind of shed the old to bring in the new, Libra. Yeah, you are, and you're getting honest. Practicing those firm boundaries. I feel, you know, it's about stepping into integrity, authenticity, and, you know, cutting anybody out of your life that just isn't in alignment with their truth, you know, because the Magician can also be, you know, manipulative energy. Where do you need to cut out some manipulative people, and where do you need to realize that you've resonated with somebody manipulating you? I think you're going through transformation for sure, and you're gonna look all of this in the eye is kind of what I'm feeling, because there's been a lack of balance. So I think you're learning to ignite your inner flame, your inner fire with the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sag. And I think you want to manifest success in your life, but I think you got to stop looking back at the past. I feel like an obsession of some sort. So let's look at this Six of Cups, Palace of Coins, King of Swords, Seven of Coins. So yeah, you definitely want to manifest an equal. For sure. I do feel you're manifesting a solid foundation, a legacy. You want to build with somebody. So I think you're kind of at this pivot point. You definitely are manifesting a soulmate for sure. The King and Queen of Swords is a true pair, and I feel you've been receiving downloads about where it is you need to plant these seeds for the future. You want loyalty in your life. And maybe you've been met with all kinds of disloyal connections, and I do feel your heart is in it. And I feel foundations are in focus, and you really got to think about the seeds you want to plan for the future. You don't want to plan a foundation for the future based in an old childhood pattern. Maybe there's some childhood wounding that needs to come up to be addressed, and I feel you're kind of learning to nurture yourself, to mother yourself. It's kind of time to stop looking back at the past and to focus on forward movement, to know your worth, to know your value, because the Queen of Coins holds a lot of value. She knows her worth too, and she works hard for everything in her life, and you know, could be a business owner or somebody ranked highly up in their career. So I feel you are at this crossroads energy, needing to choose a pathway. Do you want to go back and repeat the past and, you know, continue this cycle of not being valued, not feeling worthy, having low self-worth, and falling back down to rock bottom? Or do you want to walk through the doorway of this new experience? And it's going to require rigorous honesty is what I'm feeling. So let's look into this Devil energy, because there's something toxic here. Something very unhealthy that needs to be addressed. Could be with a Capricorn, but I feel you can't keep yourself small. And you're gaining a shift in perception about what a true equal is to you. Maybe you're going into the depths of healing some unhealthy patterns with masculine energies, going into healing a father wound. And you're gaining a huge shift in perspective, a brand new outlook on what a true partnership is for you. What does a true loving man represent for you? So I feel you're in this energy of breaking free from any illusions. And like I said, it's going to require self-love. So I think you're being asked to break free from something toxic, and to know when you feed yourself love and you shift your perspective, it will bring in someone of your equal. But I think right now it's a time of expansion and growth for you, Libra. I think things are moving forward. But there's a lesson that's needing to be learned about authenticity, dealing with people with false personas, wearing a mask. Sure, it's all fun and dandy, but when the masks fall off and the party's over, all of those pure intentions kind of die away. So you are being asked to walk away from something that I think has caused you a lot of pain, has put you in that Five of Cups energy, likely dealing with a player of some sort that had multiple options and kept you in the dark. And it's kind of time to rise above. It's really time to make peace with this past emotional baggage. I don't think there's anything to regret here. I think it's kind of time to go in search of your wish fulfillment, what it is you truly desire. And I do feel you're stepping onto the spiritual path of self-development, allowing yourself to move forward. So let's take a look at this Four of Wands, because this is the overall outcome. This is what you got coming, Libra, but I think you got a lot of integrating to do here. You got a loving offer coming in, and you know, it's going to be honest, it's going to be truthful. You know, you're going to use your logic. There's going to be healthy communication between the two of you, and there's going to be a lot of love. That's the outcome, a balanced relationship, and it will lead to a higher union of souls. Soulmate coming through, could be dealing with a Taurus or, you know, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But I just feel a blending of the head and the heart, really understanding what it is that you value, what it is that you want, getting in check with your emotions and not settling for anything less than what it is that you deserve. Because the next partnership that comes in, it is going to be a life partnership. It is going to be your equal. It is going to be your match. And so I think this is kind of where you're at, praying for answers, praying for a miracle, trying to find your faith in the journey as you come into understanding of a lesson in its entirety, preparing to step into better times. Happy, happy, happy times. Leo energy. So I think you're on the precipice of manifesting something very wonderful here, but I think it's the beginning stages of planting those seeds, and it's going to require a lot of self-care, a lot of self-nourishment, and consciously choosing a better way and to correct any obsessive behaviors from the past, clearing up any trauma bond energy. So let's get you a couple last messages from Spirit, Libra. See what other energies need to come through for my Libra collective. You're manifesting a divine union of some sort, but in order to bring that in, you have to heal your heart from any past pain. And you kind of got to lose all that baggage on that Kundalini air trip. So we'll see what else Spirit has in store for you. Yeah, so you've definitely been going through it for sure. I think you've been facing all kinds of struggles. You're really trying to find your faith and your strength to have that determination to know that you will recover. And I think you're coming into this deep awareness of where you have compromised your values and your integrity just to be connected to somebody so you're not alone. And I don't think there was love there. I think there was passion, and I think you're coming into this awareness that it's time to create healthy space between you and someone that's not healthy. And to do that, you're going to have to feed your self-love. I think you've been obsessed with wanting somebody to reach out, obsessed with missing somebody, and I think it's kind of time to free your mind from this illusion and any negative influences. I think big message. The universe is trying to tell you that relationship didn't last because it wasn't supposed to. It was a lesson in people overstepping your boundaries, learning when to draw the line, when to say no, and to have those healthy boundaries, and to understand you were dealing with a trickster, a fraud, somebody that was very deceptive. And although you've been going through this difficult time, this is a lesson in connecting with your heart, connecting with your higher self, connecting with this higher guidance, your divine team, protection, and knowing that you're never, ever alone. And so I feel you're feeling this intense energy. I think there's going to be a destined shift coming up here, but right now is the time of purifying your space, breaking away from toxic people, places, and things, any situation that isn't serving your highest good, so you can begin to live consciously. And that's what I got for you, Libra. I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, I encourage you to check out that description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.